So, I'm Vladimir.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Elsie. Jesse.
Daniel.
Jasenia.
Ivan.
Madriana. Well, today I'm going to go over an informative speech on domestic violence. So, I'm going to go now. According to domestic violence statistics around the world, at least 1 out of every 3 women have been beaten, coerced into sex, or otherwise abused in their life at some time, and it's usually done by someone close or in their own family. Another interesting fact is that every 9 seconds in the United States alone, a woman is being assaulted or beaten. First, I'd like to go over what domestic violence is, the causes, the health consequences, and prevention. So let's get started. So what exactly is domestic violence? The U.S. Department of Justice defines domestic violence as a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that can be used by one person to use or gain power and control of another intimate partner. Domestic violence comes in 4 forms: physical, sexual, emotional, and psychological abuse. This occurs in married couples, dating couples, and even family members. So now that you know what domestic violence is, I can go ahead and continue into the causes. There are 5 probable causes of domestic violence, according to Thomas J. Sullivan, the author of the collegiate book, Introduction to Social Problems. The first cause is that the use of violence to settle disputes in America is widely accepted, and especially among males. The second cause is poverty, and Sullivan states that families with low educational and occupational attainment are especially at risk for partner abuse. Also, some sexual inequality is probably a cause as well, and it's most likely to occur in families where the male or husband primarily makes most of the decisions. Inconsistency between a couple's achievements may also be a cause of domestic violence as well. For example, one spouse may feel threatened or insignificant if the other spouse is achieving more than them. The last one I'm going to cover is social isolation of a spouse. That can be a cause and a sign of domestic violence. And now that I've touched on some of the causes, allow me to continue on to the consequences. There are many, but I'll go over several of the health consequences that can be brought on by domestic violence. I'm getting this information provided from the United Health Organization. There are fatal and non-fatal injuries that can result from domestic violence. These include, but obviously aren't limited to, things like back pain, abdominal pain, fibromyalgia, gastrointestinal disorders, limited mobility, and overall bad health. Sexually related health issues include unintended pregnancies, gynecological problems, induced or forced abortions, sexually transmitted disease, premature birth, miscarriage, and stillbirth. Domestic violence can also develop mental health issues as well. These are depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, sleep difficulties, eating disorders, emotional distress, and suicidal tendencies. And now that you understand the health consequences, let me move on to a more positive part of the speech, prevention. The U.S. Advisory Board on Child Abuse and Neglect has provided many recommendations on how to prevent domestic violence. First, they want everyone to adopt the idea that family violence in all forms is criminal. Second, they want to establish arrest as the preferred method of dealing with such crimes. Third, they want the process of complaints of family violence to be reported as a criminal offense. Fourth, they wish to organize special units to process family violence cases. And finally, they want to eliminate the need of a signature for a formal complaint against the aggressor or abuser. And that concludes my information on domestic violence. And I'm happy you all took the time out of your day to listen to my speech about domestic violence. I hope my brief explanation of all the causes, health effects, mental issues that may be contributed by domestic violence has helped you or someone you may be concerned about. just know that there's always a way to prevent domestic violence, and you don't need to be a victim. Remember, like I said in the beginning, 1 out of every 3 women deal with domestic violences in their lifetime. Thanks very much.
Yay.